Project Nova, an ambitious initiative launched by one young nomad, known only to the world as Grecko. Through this initiative, he plans on taking Kerbals to other celestial bodies in the Kerbal space system. Through there, being able to gain resources and knowledge of the workings of our universe, all in order to further promote the growth of...
And I just cut that off right there. What is up, everybody, and welcome to a Kerbal Space Program episode. Now, I did have a couple people asking me to play this game, and, well, I'm just going to speed to do this first part, since it's just me designing very basic generic rockets to gain science. I mean, it's a single booster with wings, a couple capsules to collect science, just going up and coming back down. So, since this is all being done afterwards, let's talk a little bit about what I kind of hope to achieve with this, with the Project Nova. So, as I did say in the beginning, I would like to travel to all the celestial bodies at least one time before saying this series is done. More so now that I know when the second game is coming out, because I would also like to play that game. And, just being a huge fan of science, because I freaking love science, I really love these games because it does take a lot of work to do very minimal things. And by minimal things, I mean really complicated things. As you can see, all the mistakes I just keep making. But things like getting to orbit actually take quite a bit of planning and all, as do simple missions like even designing just a simple aircraft, which I don't know why, but the complexity of it is something I really enjoy. But yeah, so the end goal is to visit every celestial body in the game. I want to say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 planets, and a handful of moons. And I would really like to visit all of them. At least that's what I plan on doing. Anyway, with that said, I really don't know what else I plan to achieve, but for the most part, as you guys, those of you who saw my first episode, it's not even a part of this series, but it was the first Kerbal Space Program episode. I talked about how I suck at this game, and honestly, my goal is, since I'll be uploading it, that I'll be determined to get better, just so I can actually complete the game. Because, I mean, the only place I've actually gone to and landed successfully is the Mun, which is relatively difficult to do, but I did it in sandbox mode, so I don't count it. And, I mean, I want to do it legit, right? Like, I want to get there and manage to get all the way back without needing to play in sandbox, because I feel like in sandbox, if you know how to do it, you can easily achieve it. And rather, like in the career mode, which is, we're playing in sandbox, it's a lot harder. And here's just another mission to collect more science from a different location. I was hoping to end up in the mountains here, but you can see why this didn't work. Just look at all that wobble. It's just so bad. Alright, well, I mean, I did get it stabilized, which is good, but still, it wasn't easy. Anyway, the one thing that I did do that I probably shouldn't have done, at least I think I did it, is I made it so the Kerblins would actually have to be in missions to upgrade their skills. So I don't have all their skills unlocked right at the get-go. And that was me just kind of panicking and letting everything go, hoping that I could at least save the vessel, because the way I'm playing, if a Kerblin dies, he's dead. I'm not going to revert to save him and bring him back to life or anything like that. He's just going to be dead. And, I mean, we landed successfully, though, but which is good, because our first official mission is a relatively easy one, which is just being able to orbit Kerblin, and after we collect whatever science I want to collect from said orbit, from the orbital mission. Oh, wait, right here, before I say anything, because, look, I just like watching him run. Excuse me. Anyway, it looks like he's ice skating. I think I sped that up way too fast. But I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's like a little dot out in the distance, and I wanted to see what it was. So I kind of just took off in that direction. And just so you know, I did speed up the footage. This is going insanely fast. And I don't know, just the way that it kind of looks like he's ice skating, which I think is kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, so I did go over to see what it was. A bit of a spoiler alert. It was a tree. I know, it's nothing too exciting. And here's the thing, though. I don't get why it didn't let me take a sample of it. It just let me sample the dirt around it. And the EVA report, which, it's when you're outside the vehicle, it didn't mention anything about the tree, which was also disappointing, but you know, I guess I gotta unlock the tools to properly analyze it. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the orbital mission, right? So once in orbit, I'm gonna be collecting science, obviously, so I can unlock more parts. And from there, hopefully be able to do bigger and more complicated missions. So, I mean, the thing on Earth right now is getting to Mars, which in this game, I believe it's called Duna. But I would like to try to at least launch a mission to get there at some point. That being my goal, basically. But like I said, I do want to visit all the bodies. And right here, I'm actually designing the craft that we're going to be using for the orbital mission, which I called the Viper 1. So you can see we have quite a few things loaded up on it. I loaded some stuff up on the actual capsule because it will detach from the Science Junior, which is where everything else is. And the reason for that is wherever this craft lands, I want to be able to collect data from that area. And, I mean, because the more science you get, the more parts you can unlock. Which means, well, the better parts you can unlock. I mean, you can end up getting bigger boosters, more efficient engines, better engines. I feel like the nuclear engine's probably the best one for interplanetary travel. This is, I think, would be the proper term for it. And yeah, I mean, if I could get to that one, then I feel like getting to any kind of celestial body, which is just anything out in space, would be significantly easier. But since we're basically done here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
And we're in the air. Alright, so I don't know if I mentioned this at all. Holy crap, that is loud. But I plan on collecting science around the atmosphere. The end goal is ultimately just to get science from Kerbalin's lower, not the atmosphere, but lower orbit. After I've collected that data, I do want to be able to get back onto the planet so I can call it a success. Because if I can't make it back to the planet, then we have a Kerbalin who's stuck in orbit and we can't bring him home until we unlock, I want to say it's the hitchhiker pod, which allows you to take Kerbalins and house them in there while you bring them back to Kerbalin. Kerbal. Well, anyway, the little green dudes. And, oh man, we are burning up, aren't we? Come on, we're almost past the atmosphere. And, alright, we're doing good. You know, I think I may have screwed up already. This mission might need a redo. I bet we can save this. Can we? Let's find out. Make a maneuver node. Stretch it out. And, no, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. I mean, I could just, I need a lot more delta V to be able to execute this. You know what, I think we're gonna have to do a relaunch here in a minute, but once we make it back down. So right now, let's kind of just enjoy the sights and collect a little bit of data. Let's log that information. The barometric, or is it the barometric? You know what, now that the science is collected, I would actually like to land in the mountains. Let's see if we can aim ourselves in that direction. There we go. Hey look, there's our junk. Alright. And I'm hoping I have enough no, wait, you know what? Let's gun for the desert. Wait, should we gun for the desert? Do I have enough? I don't know. We really are gonna have to redo this mission because I feel like we're capable of orbiting. That shouldn't be that difficult, at least with the tech we have right now. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go for the desert. Pretty sure the desert's got my name written all over it. So let's go ahead and finish up a little extra sciencing. Alright, come on, just please tell me I have enough to land in the desert. I'm aiming for that little arm. And, okay, fuel is becoming low. This craft is becoming harder to control. Hope that's enough. Let's go ahead and aim ourselves so nothing explodes on the way down. And hopefully we'll be good. There's no chance we're gonna hit water. Oh no, come on, control. There goes one thing. It was a gear container, wasn't it? That's okay, I don't think we need to collect anything from the oceans anymore. But, Well, that mission was a resounding failure. On the bright side, our Kerbal is still alive. So, you know, we haven't lost anybody just yet. And we missed the desert as well. Good times. Let's do a handful more science, because I think you can collect a surface sample from water. I don't know if I did that before. I think I did. Yeah, I'll take whatever I can get. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and store the data. Get into the vessel. We're going to have to dump one thing, Maduber. And let's go ahead and... yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and send for our recovery here in just 1 second. Here we go. Alright, so this... all back to the timeout. And this is the Viper 2, which is essentially similar to the Viper 1. The only difference being that it uses different fuel engines and a different kind of propeller that I feel is really useful just when you're in the atmosphere. On the upside, we also got the decouplers, which allow us to take, well, the 2 tanks on the side. We'll be able to lose them, which is good because that extra weight actually weighs us down. And let's just get a couple things in line, and we should be ready to go with Viper 2. Now this one, if everything is planned out right, should be able to properly land us. Well, not land us, but should allow us to properly orbit Kerbal, which is our goal. Let's go ahead and color the pipes, because why not? I mean, come on, you gotta color everything. All white everything doesn't always look good. Now it kind of looks like a missile.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
And alright, so just because this part is still fast forwarded, this took such a long time to get into orbit. I mean, it's like seriously, it was painfully slow. So I did speed it up. I want to say it's 400 times faster than what it was originally, because that's how slow this took. I mean, it honestly took a solid 5, 6, 7 minutes to get into orbit, and I can't seem to control anything worth crap. But good thing we know how to cut engines now. So yeah, this thing took an insanely long amount of time to get into orbit. But on the upside, I was doing different maneuvers, essentially going in and there goes our things, perfect D attachment. Anyway, to get into orbit, as you can see, our projected trajectory isn't just straight up and straight down. Now there's an actual curve to it. So it's going to be a lot easier once we run out of fuel in the main engine to create a proper orbit, which we should be able to do here in 3, 2, we almost got, we're at, okay. See, that's why we need that one, the second stage. Now with just a bit more fuel, we are able to set up a maneuver node. Let's go ahead and angle ourselves that way. And yes, should we collect science? I think we should wait till after we've actually established orbit. So let's warp closer to it, because I don't want to overshoot it. Just something I have been doing in the past. It just completely sucks. Alright. So we are really close to it now. Just a little speed up should get us there. And I'd love to be an astronaut just to get this view. It'd be nice, wouldn't I? Okay, we're so close to it, and we're right there. Come on, just a hair more. There we go. Now with this, there we go, the camera's changing, which means we should be in a proper orbit now. So now we can actually... yes, alright, we're good. I think we're good. Let's check the map, and we are good. It's an elliptical orbit. Well, it's an orbit. Ignore that elliptical part. Let's go ahead and get rid of this maneuver node. I hate having these things on there once I no longer need them. Alright, so... you have a funky orbit, but that's okay. I feel like we need to move over to the bright side before I actually do any science. But moving this over to the bright side so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Quick rotation. Woo, we are piloting experts. And we don't even have a pilot, we have an astronaut. Well, we have a scientist, not a pilot. Astronaut is an astronaut, but he's a scientist, not a pilot. Alright, so just so you guys can see everything, we're going to head and move over to the light side. Just collecting a bit more science, or whatever we can collect. We're going to be storing all of it. So, because I feel like when we're re-entering orbit, I would like to keep the Science Junior attached. So I'm going to try to go in with my booster first, because I know they have a really high heat tolerance. Hopefully I'll be able to stabilize it enough that I can enter with it and use it to slow down enough where landing without the parachutes isn't going to hurt anything. But just in case, I might as well just try to collect all the data that I can. And speaking of, where do we want to go with re-entry? Like, where do we want to land? Let's get in, make sure the data is stored. So far, so good. I don't want to transmit anything for fear of the Science Junior data being transmitted. That one has to be delivered in person. That one has a ton of information. I don't want to lose it. Now, decide where we're gonna want to land. You know, and I'm feeling like the poles. Do I have enough fuel for that though? Oh, I do. Sweet. So we're gonna be going for the poles because, well, I flew over there one time while playing this just, you know, by myself. And I really wanted to land there because I felt that there might be something cool there. And you know what? Now that we managed to get an orbit that's relatively close to it, just with the small burn, I think we'll be able to get there, which will be exciting. Collect science from the poles. Woo! Man, this is just so calming. We're almost there, over the desert. Let's try to restore everything. Just close it all up. Collect the data again. Alright, here we go. Just a bit more and we shall be good. It's all touch and go. If I overshoot this, that ain't good. I just get nervous when it comes to these burns. Well, not with the burns, but whenever I'm speeding it up. And go. Alright, come on. This is a relatively big burn, actually. But it seems to be doing what we need it to, which is good. By the way, this is why maneuver nodes are amazing. They take away a lot of math that you would otherwise have to do by hand. And just how physics goes, it's a lot of irritable little factors. Let's see, this is... Okay, so this is all going where we need it to, which is good. I believe I have enough fuel for this. Yeah, I definitely have more than enough fuel for this. We're going to be landing at the pole. Just a little bit more. Little bit. Okay, that'll be good. We didn't get the exact path, but we got close enough, which is what matters, because we're just going to land back on the planet. It's not like we're aiming to orbit or anything. So, and that's going to come the hard part, and that's me trying to stabilize all the different weight ratios here to make sure the booster makes it through the atmosphere. This is going to be exciting. It's just a little shift, a little too far. I need to come in. I want to say it's about 45-degree angle. I want to say that's the angle, the optimal angle for this. I feel like it might be 72. Crap. You know what? Let's go for it. Speed it all up. And there's just so many places I want to explore on this planet. But with that proper engineering, they're difficult to get to. Okay. We're so close. The moment of truth is coming up. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Okay, alright, here we go. We're going to be landing near the center part, which is good. Let's go for it, I guess. So touch and go. Oh, here we go, here we go. We're right there. Okay, and we're doing good. And no, we're not. Everything's going alright. Oh, come on. Why am I turning on my engines? Detach, 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 detach. Oh, everything's exploding. That ain't good. That ain't good. Oh, come on. I gotta stabilize, 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 stabilize. And we are good. And a fireworks show in the background. Oh, that was such a bad move. I mean, I already lost one goo container. That ain't good. Hopefully we don't lose the other one. Oh, there it goes. Speak of the devil. Right, whatever. We can do this. We have a couple more instruments left on board. We can collect this data. Okay, we're past the outer atmosphere. which means we should be good. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and speed things up to the landing. I need stronger parachutes to bring that down all in one go, though. I think we can figure something out. But you know what? Actually, looking at how much fuel we had left with this rocket, I feel like that might be enough to go to Minmus. I would say the Mun, but I believe... well, here's the thing. I've been told that going to Minmus is a lot easier. Let's go ahead and get some science, you know? Store it all, make sure it's there, get back in, another crew report. There we go. But no, yeah, like going to Minmus is a lot easier because it's a lot more forgiving. Like the gravity isn't so harsh. Like going to the moon, I've done that, well, the Mun. I've done that multiple times, and it's really touch and go because you're going in at interplanetary velocity, and just for the distance, that's roughly, you need to be able to slow down 1,000 meters a second down to about 5. There goes our heat shield, because why not? Okay, we should be good. You know what? Let's go ahead and just collect some science. Hopefully plant our flag. And man, how is he not cold? I don't know about you. I'd be freezing if I just went to the North Pole. I mean, I guess the spacesuits, astronaut suits, are relatively warm. I mean, they have to be. But anyway, yeah, you know what? I think that's what we're gonna do next time. We're gonna take Bob Kerbin to the moon. Minmus. We're gonna go to Minmus. So let's plant our flag, and we will call it. What should we call it? There it is, Project Nova. Let's. And now let's pose for a picture because that's what astronauts do. Alright, and now let's go ahead and take care of everything else. But no, yeah, so I would consider that our first orbital mission was a success. We did manage to gain a stable orbit. On top of that, we were able to return back to Kerbal, which is good, but look at how empty this is. I don't want to have to make a craft to get all the way over here to rescue him. So yeah, I'm just going to end up doing the recovery here in a minute. But this was a success. We got into orbit, made it back to Kerbal, all in a single flight, and by single flight I mean 2, but nobody needs to know about that because we are now properly considered astronauts. So now I'm going to collect the rest of the data, but I will see you guys next time when we go to to Minmus. Why do I keep wanting to say the Mun? It's Minmus. So I will see you guys next time. Peace.